Hi, my name is Tamara Moore, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And welcome to my craft room. I am starting a series called One Stamp, One Color, and I'm really excited for you to join me, and I hope you stamp along. So the concept is that you have your white paper and your black ink, and what we're going to do is choose a stamp set and choose a color that we're going to use. And that color can be in the form of ink, watercolor, color pencils, tone on tone paper of that color, plain colored paper. There's just a variety of things. And of course, we're going to step it up as we go along. But for the first video, it's just going to be a simple stamp set and a color, and we're going to see what we can do with it. So let's get to my craft desk and get started. Okay, so the papers that we're going to use in this video is the 6x6 Designer Series paper assortment. This one is in Tahitian Tide, and it is one of the new ink colors. And what you get with a pack of these is you get 40 sheets. For the ink colors, because there's only 5 colors, you get 4 of each double-sided designs, and it's of each color. So for the Tahitian Tide, you get 4 of these designs. This is a really pretty design, and then you get the back right here. This is, I love plaid, this beautiful plaid, and then on the other side of the plaid is this polka dot. So that's what I'm going to be using today. Some of the other colors I'm using, which is not our ink colors, is some of the other colors that we have are normal in-stock colors. I do have the old DSP. The new ones, if you were to get them, would have the patterns I just showed you that the Tahitian Tide has. But I have some old colored cardstock left, and those come in 40 sheets, but there are 2 of each double-sided designs in each color. So let's keep that in mind if that's something you're interested in. So what you're going to need is I'm going to start with Pear Pizzazz. My color I'm going to work with right now is Pear Pizzazz. And you are going to need a card base that measures 4 1/4 by 11, scored at the 5.5 inch spot. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of white. One is for the inside of the card, and the other one is our matte layer. That is 4 by 5 1/4, so you'll need 2 of those. You'll need a piece of the Designer Series paper assortment, whichever design you decide. This is from the old design last year, and this measures, it's a 3 by 3 square. And then you need a piece of white. Now I die cut this square out. You can cut this out, and the measurement for this is 2 3/4 square. You don't have to have a die cut. I just happen to have, sometimes I go through and die cut a whole bunch of shapes, so I have them at the ready when I'm doing a quick card. And this square measures 2 3/4. So to start off with, we're going to set aside our card base and our DSP and our inner piece. So we're going to be working with these 2. To start with, I'm going to stamp on this. And like I said, I'm using the Pear Pizzazz. And I'm going to link the products I use in the description box below so that you can easily find them. So I've got my stamps already on my blocks. I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And then I'm going to use black Memento ink. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and stamp my greeting. Oh, the stamp set I'm using is called Hope and Prayer, and we're going to use each one of these. Hopefully I can do this within the allotted time that my camera is allowing for video, but we're going to do each one of these in a design. But this is the stamp set I'm using for this example today, is the Hope and Prayer. All right, so this greeting says, I thank God every time I think of you. So we're going to go ahead and do our best to center this and make it straight. Okay, that's pretty good. I'll take that. And then now we're just going to play with our Pear Pizzazz, and I've chosen to go with this image right here, only that image. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do full strength on this, and we are going to put one on top and one on the bottom. Okay, there is your greeting that's going to go on the card. That's done. We're going to set that aside to dry. And now we're going to get our mat ready. So we are going to create our own designer series paper with our stamp and our Pear Pizzazz. So all I'm going to do is do a pattern. I'm going to stamp off and then stamp on the card, just to give it a little bit of a lighter value. Bring it down a little bit so I can see where I'm stamping. And it's okay if it's not straight. You can twist it every which way. I'm just going to do a simple pattern. Stamp off. Move my ink pad to this side since I'm very right-handed. And stamp off. And what I'm doing when I'm doing this pattern is I'm alternating so it doesn't completely line up. So I'll stamp my 3 and then I'll stamp in between the spaces here. Stamp off. And then finish out the ends. And we'll do that all the way down. And this just gives it a different pattern when you alternate it like that. Okay, we're almost to the end here. Okay, so we've got our card base all stamped. Now we're ready to assemble. Oh, let's do one more stamping. Let's stamp in our inner piece for writing, and I'm gonna do full strength on this, and I'm just gonna kind of put that in the corner like that. So there's just a little bit of stamping in there. Okay. Now all of our stamping is done. We can assemble. Very simple card. Okay, I'm going to use my Monotombo glue. That's available as well. I have put it in this wonderful bottle that I need to clean off that was gifted to me that I absolutely love. So what we're going to do first is let's go ahead and put in the inside piece. I probably should have checked that first. Put a little pin in there just to clear it out. I like this one because I don't use as much glue. I tend to be a little heavy-handed with the glue for some reason. Okay, go ahead and line that up in here. Okay, there's our inside piece. Now we're going to go ahead and mat our design that we created. There's that. Now we're going to go ahead and add these two squares. This can get matted on top of our DSP. And I wanted to do the DSP just to break up the pattern a little bit. It adds a light pattern around the sides and just breaks it up a little bit so it's not just a plain color. You can certainly grab some of this cardstock and put that behind, or do a tone-on-tone stamping as well. So now we're just going to go ahead and simply attach this to the card. And I'm going to kind of place it in the center. All right, and there is your simple card. Very pretty. I think it's very, very pretty and very simple, using one color and one stamp set. All right, let's do another one. I am going to use, we're going to go with another green, Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to switch out my stamps here really quick. And we're going to use the Dove stamp image, and then we're going to use the dove, and under his wings you will find refuge. Okay, same measurements as before, so I won't go over them again, but we'll go ahead and get the whites out so we can stamp them and get them ready. I'm gonna grab my sheet again. All right, so for this one, go ahead and get my sentiment inked up. And for this one, because it's so large, I'm going to place it close to the bottom of my square. There we go for that. And then for the bird, I'm going to do the bird in the black ink, the dove. And the colors I'm using, the color I'm using for this is Old Olive. It just seemed appropriate for the dove and the olive branch. So we're just going to stamp that right above the sentiment. There we go. So there's that piece. And now we're going to take the same dove and we're going to use our Old Olive ink. And I'm going to stamp him full strength in the corner of my inside piece. And then we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to open this up. We are going to stamp off and stamp a pattern lightly. And we're going to do this all across the page, and then again doing it in the middle. And finishing off the ends. I have to concentrate on this because when I was originally making my prototypes, I just went full strength, and I want to go second generation just so it's a little bit lighter and doesn't detract from the overall design of the card. Okay, so that's stamped and finished, and now we can assemble our card. So I'm gonna remove that, glue in our inside piece. Looks like I got a little ink on there. I can fix that, but I don't care about that right now. And then we're going to go ahead and attach this to our card base. Okay, and now we're going to attach our piece that we stamped onto this square piece. And that you have a little bit of time with this glue to take a minute to see and get it centered. And now we're going to go ahead and attach this to the card. Center that the best I can. And there we go. We have another finished card. And let's do another one. We've got a little bit more time. Let's do Blackberry Bliss. So same measurements. All of these cards will have the same measurements. We're going to get our pieces out to stamp and change out our stamps. Now for the Blackberry Bliss, I'm going to use the cross and you are in my prayers. Change that. Let's get the ink off the bird a little bit more, Dove. We're going to use the cross. Okay. So first we'll stamp our greeting. And this one I'm actually going to do towards the top of the square. Okay, and then I'm going to actually stamp the cross in black. And just kind of center it under that greeting. Okay, that piece is done. I'm going to clean that off. Now we're going to pull out our Blackberry Bliss ink. And again, I'm just going to straighten this on my block here a little bit. I'm going to do full strength and I'm going to stamp our inside piece right in the corner. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to stamp off and get the second generation of ink for our pattern. Okay, and then we're going to go in the middle here. Forgot to stamp off on that, but that's okay. I believe our greeting will cover most of that up. Okay, there is our stamped piece. Now we are ready to put this card together. These cards are really quick. Once you decide on the design you want, clean those off so they're ready for me to switch it out for our last color. So we're going to go ahead and put in our inside piece. that's in, and then we're going to go ahead and mount this piece. There we go, and then put this piece on our Blackberry Bliss DSP. And then put that on our card. All right, and there is our third card. Okay, we're going to make one more, and then I'm going to show you some stepped up, just a tiny bit stepped up versions that I did. Okay, so the next one we're going to play with is Tahitian Tide, our new ink color, one of our new ink colors. Again, get our pieces out that we're going to be stamping on. And then we're going to use the final one, which is the Anchor and Hope Anchors the Soul sentiment. Okay, so the greeting, we're gonna go ahead and do this one all in black. And again, I'm gonna put the sentiment more towards the top. Okay, there's that one. And then we're going to do the anchor in the black as well. Okay, that piece is done, and we're done with the black. Now we're going to go ahead and stamp our inside piece at full strength. I'm going to kind of do this in the corner. Here we go. And now we're going to go ahead and do our pattern, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to stamp off. But this time, I'm going to flip this all over the place. So we're going to go in the corner, switch around, and just twist it around. You could do the same type of pattern that we did with the other images and just go straight across. But I thought this would be kind of fun to switch it up a little bit and just flip it all over the place. I'm going to go up on that one a little bit. That one we're kind of gonna, I think we're gonna go this way. Stamp off and we'll come down. I'm just kind of looking at the patterns I already have stamped above it just to make sure that it is different. Okay, the last finishing touches here. And we're going to do that there. All right, so that's finished. Now we're ready to assemble our card. So we're going to go ahead and put in our inside piece. there's the inside piece, and then we're going to go ahead and put on our page that we designed. And then mount our sentiment piece onto our 3x3 square. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the card. And there we go. So there are the 4 cards. We used just the one stamp set and one color for the design. I think they turned out beautifully. So here are the cards that we've made. So we've made the Hope Anchors the Soul. Under his wings you'll find refuge. We made I thank God every time I think of you. And then you're in my prayers. So what I did for a stepped up version is I just added some embellishments. So I had these rock embellishments, gems, jewels, whatever you want to call them. And I thought they were fitting for the type of saying that's on there and the image. And then for the others, I just added some pearls on there. This one I added some gold pearls with the purple. I thought that turned out really, really pretty. And then again, just the white pearls with that one. So these are a lot of fun and quick. You can mass produce these cards if you wanted thank you cards, or you just wanted to send out some cards to whomever. I hope you craft along with me. I hope you select a color and create some of these cards with a stamp set and see what you can create. Thank you for joining me in my craft room, and I'll see you on the next one.